how do you possibly think, okay, I want to take on Hank Williams and I want to sing? That seems pretty scary to me.
Yeah. I think I'm drawn to things that scare me. I can't explain why. It's interesting. I knew I could, on the page when I first read the script, I saw this character which I understood. And there was a tension between his exterior charisma and his interior vulnerability. He was someone who on stage was so confident and so witty and so mischievous, but clearly was so alone and so lonely and in pain. And as an actor, I found that interesting, and I knew I could, excavate what that tension was. It just so happens that this character was an American icon and a real person.
Yeah.
Who could sing and who was the greatest and fastest hit maker that American music has ever seen at that time. And I knew I would have to sing, and I knew I wasn't tone deaf, but I've never sung like I sing in this ever.
Really?
I suppose music is a huge part of my life. I find it a huge personal inspiration. As an actor, I always use music when I'm making films or developing, making characters, because it's so emotional. Music is the most immediately emotional art form, I think. It's so evocative and it puts you in a mood. And I've had such respect for musicians, and I just thought I'd love to make a film about music and someone who had such authenticity and such power in that art form. But I didn't know I could do it. I still don't.
What was the audition process? I mean, obviously you did audition.
Yeah.
How long did that take? And
well, it was an ongoing conversation over a period of time, because Mark and I initially met, and he was adamant that he said to me, "I want to cast an actor who can sing, not a singer who could act," because the most important thing to him was having an actor's habit of psychological excavation, to get under the skin of the meat in his life. And we talked more about the drama of it in a way, and the difficulty of his marriage, and the delicacy of trying to portray that in a way that wasn't cliche, that was true to how it was, and also true to life. And marriages are not easy. They are journeys of give and take, and Hank and Audrey were very difficult and unintentionally cruel to each other, and we were trying to find a way of calibrating that in the performance. And the music seemed like we kind of put it to one side for a bit, and then it took a while to finance the film. And Mark Abraham and I actually had to put together a sizzle reel for prospective financiers, so we shot something. And then right at the end, we sort of realized I had to sing in this thing. And so I asked if he could, get somebody on board, and that's when Rodney Crowell came on. And Rodney and Mark and I all met in Toronto almost exactly 2 years ago. It was Easter weekend 2014, Easter Saturday, and we were sitting there having scrambled eggs, and nobody was talking about music, and there were two guitars sitting on the floor in their cases. And eventually Mark went to the bathroom, and by the time he came back, Rodney and I were already digging our heels into Long Gone Lonesome Blues, and I was yodeling for the first time, and a happy man.